Hi, I'm Monica and I have opinions about things. So, today I'm going to review a horror anthology that is on Netflix until October 26th. I really like horror. I especially like short horror films, so yeah, as expected, I watch Crypt TV a lot, and The Twilight Zone, and when I saw this, I was like super excited because I was like, all right, they're like so short. Some of them are like 2 minutes. It's got to be good, right? Well, as you'll see, it's a little disappointing. And excuse if this video is weird. It's my first one. Still trying to get the setup right. My bed is like 50 feet off the ground, so it's hard to like get a good camera angle. I'm using a music stand as a tripod because music made your life. So anyway, let's get to it. So the first and most problematic part of this anthology is the first one, called Friendship Bracelet. It's about this girl, Julie, who is quote unquote weird and a loner, and she likes to play surgery on her dolls, and she wears a surgical mask that's pink and has her name on it, and she wears this all the time. She like moves it when she talks to people and then puts it back up, and she pokes at dead animals, and just in general everyone thinks that she's weird. So naturally there's like these two popular girls, and they get invited. She invites them to her birthday party, and as expected, they're the only ones who show up, and they're really grudging about it. But then they end up leaving right after they get there because they think it's weird to be at this girl's birthday party. So they go back home and they're watching a scary movie because why not, right? And then Julie, the weird girl, has broken into their house and proceeds to murder them with surgical tools, while saying that in order to be friends, I need to open your hearts. And she does that literally because she's weird. And she's into medical stuff, which is so bad. Girls shouldn't be into medical stuff because it'll make them serial killers. But anyways, you can already tell that I didn't like this one, and it's just such a tired cliche that the loner kid is some kind of creepy, sinister killer person. Like, it's just so baffling that they would even make this because it's already such a tired cliche. And it's like, it's not even scary because you know exactly what's gonna happen. You know that she's gonna kill them, and it's gonna have some kind of irony. And it's like, I was just really offended by it. I know we're not supposed to be offended by things, but I was a little offended by it because in real life, people with mental illnesses are more likely to be victims of violence than perpetrators of violence. And this short, like, misrepresents the loner type. And Julie obviously has some kind of mental health problems if she, she pokes dead animals and stuff, I guess. I don't know. They were trying to imply that there was something wrong with her. I don't know, but it's just really stupid. This film would be much scarier and effective if they kept Julie the way she was, poking at dead animals, playing surgery on her dolls. She's not really hurting anybody. She's not hurting anybody at all. She's learning about medical science. They show that she has all these textbooks. She has some, like, issues connecting with people, and maybe her hobbies are a little strange, but she's not really, like, hurting anybody, She's kind of fascinated with death, I see. But so was I when I was a kid. So are lots of people when they're kids. So it's like, it would be much scarier if the mean girls were the ones who were like hunting her or something. That would be so much more effective and different from the standard cliche of the dangerous loner kid. Like I'm saying, statistically, Julie is more likely to be the victim of violence than the perpetrator of violence. And this short, it thinks it's saying, be nice to people who are different. But it's actually saying, ooh, be careful of people who are different because they'll probably cut you open. So it's like stupid and I didn't like it. So yeah, screw you, friendship bracelet. So the second one in this collection is called Control-Alt-Delete. And it's about a hacker who exposes like photos of a young teen celebrity. And then he gets punished by like this monster thing that reaches out to him via chat box and challenges him to this weird VR game that ends up killing him somehow. And my problem with this is, first, there's like this stupid electronic music playing through the whole thing that robs it of any sort of tension. Second, I just started laughing as soon as it started because the guy is sitting at his desk at his computer in what is presumably his house, and he's wearing a hoodie with the hood up, and he's got like fingerless gloves, and he's like typing away, and I'm like, would hackers actually like wear a hoodie in their own home? I just started laughing right off the bat. And also, I felt kind of robbed because, you know, whenever he got something wrong in the VR, he would like get hurt. He'd get like electrocuted, or he'd get like a boil that would like burst. Well, it actually burst because he was a freaking idiot and he touched it, but there's this moment where in the VR he falls into lava, and I thought it would be really cool if he like caught fire in real life or melted, but instead the game master, who's called the Reckoning, who doesn't have any motivation or anything, by the way, just comes over and stabs his VR character, and then he dies in real life. And that's just, it just didn't feel like it had any continuity. And the computer graphics were like, the CG was like 2000s level CG. It was bad. The third one is called Incommodum, which is Latin for discomfort, and it's just like a string of random, incoherent shots of weird stuff with no discernible story. And the description is like, this is not for squeamish people. And yeah, some of it's kind of gross, like a bloody jawbone on the ground, or maggots on a skeleton, or a lady with a skull superimposed over her face, or like, you know, just random stuff like that. You know, it's basically the Ring video, so I'm probably gonna die after I post this, sorry. But it reminded me of that episode of The Office where Gabe made a movie like this, and he was like, the lack of a narrative robs the viewer of any comfort, and that's what it reminded me of. It's just so cliche, and it's not unsettling. It didn't make me uncomfortable because this isn't even experimental or new and edgy, because this has been done for ages. Like I mentioned The Ring, it was even a joke in The Office, and once it's a joke in The Office, it's over. It's not relevant. And that was like, what, 10 years ago? So no, this did not make me uncomfortable at all. I was made much more uncomfortable by the position I was watching it in, which was really uncomfortable. So maybe that's what they were talking about. They just assumed you'd be watching it in bed on your phone. The next one is called Keep Out. It had the best premise, I thought. It was YouTubers going to explore a house that had a dark past, and the two YouTuber guys are established to be good friends. They've been friends since they were both 10 years old. But when one of them dies, but getting eaten alive by the monster, the other one just kind of makes a face and then immediately photographs the monster while it's eating his friend. And I'm like, if my best friend got eaten by a monster right in front of me, I would not be like, that's just so stupid. I wouldn't do that. I'd be like really freaked out. I'd be like screaming. I'd be like, dude. So that was stupid. The next one, the last one, is called Antony Psycho. And I guess it has this guy from a show that I haven't watched. Maybe I would have gotten more out of it if I knew the show, but it's like this rich, preppy guy, Antony, who's going over his morning routine while wearing his tighty whities. And he's supposed to be like super rich and cool, and he's like a culinary expert. But it starts hinting sinister things, like he looks into the camera creepy while he's narrating harmless stuff. Or you see like a dead body in the bathtub, or the food that he's cooking looks weird, like it's human meat, like it's people meat. And I don't know, if you're gonna imply cannibalism, like follow up on it more. Also, like I said, he spent his whole thing in his tidy whities, and like I felt very uncomfortable. I feel like this one should have been called Incommodum. This one should have been called Discomfort, because I spent the whole time going, you know. So yeah, that's Don't Watch This on Netflix. You can watch it if you want, but it was really lame. Some of it was offensive, some of it was just stupid. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I was underwhelmed. I wanted to feel unsettled. I wanted to sit and be like, whoa, that really made me think. Or be like, wow, that was so good. But the thing that I was most impressed by was that this wasn't just some cheap student films on YouTube. This was something that was actually on Netflix. I don't know. Anyways, happy Halloween, everybody. I'll see you again next time if my phone doesn't decide it's out of memory again. Goodbye.